Gameplay philosophy. Speed versus strategy. Call of Duty and Battlefield. Two giants of the FPS world. They share the same genre, the same core mechanics. Aim, shoot, survive. But once you start playing, you realize just how different they truly are. Call of Duty is all about speed. The moment you spawn, you're thrown into fast, relentless action. The maps are small and tight, carefully designed to keep players constantly running into each other. You're rewarded for quick reflexes, aggressive movement, and mastering the rhythm of combat. There's barely time to think. And that's the point. It's a test of instinct. Every match feels like a condensed action movie. You sprint around corners, slide into cover, and snap onto enemies with quick, precise aim. Kill streaks add extra fuel to the chaos. Once you're on a roll, you're dropping airstrikes or releasing attack dogs to dominate the field. It's a power. CT fantasy, and it's incredibly addictive. Now step into Battlefield, and the tone shifts completely. You're not just a soldier. You're part of a massive operation. Instead of a 6v6 skirmish, you're looking at 64 players, maybe more, spread across sprawling maps with multiple objectives. There are tanks rolling through streets, jets flying overhead, helicopters dropping squads into the front lines. It's war, not just combat. In Battlefield, you can't win alone. Individual skill matters, but team coordination is everything. Capturing objectives, holding territories, reviving teammates, supplying ammo. It's all part of a larger puzzle. You're not just fighting for kills, you're fighting for strategic control. Movement is slower, not because it's clunky, but because every step has weight. You can't just sprint blindly through a war zone. You'll get sniped, shelled, or run over. You have to think, where are your teammates? Where's the enemy armor? Which objective is under threat? Your awareness has to expand far beyond your weapons sights. Call of Duty asks, how fast can you react? Battlefield asks, how smart can you adapt? The two games also shape different kinds of players. In Call of Duty, matches are short and intense. You can jump in, play a couple rounds, and feel satisfied. It's great for players who enjoy fast action, instant gratification, and personal mastery. You learn the maps, memorize spawn points, master gun recoil, and push your limits. Battlefield attracts players who think big. It rewards patience, communication, and long-term strategy. You might spend 10 minutes sneaking behind enemy lines just to flank a tank, and when it works, it's worth every second. It's less about stats and more about moments. Epic, unpredictable, player-driven moments, and let's not forget roles. In Call of Duty, you're a lone wolf, armed to the teeth. In Battlefield, you pick a class. Assault, medic, engineer, support. Each has a purpose. Medics revive, engineers repair vehicles, support drops ammo. You're part of a system, and your choices matter for the whole squad. The core philosophy of these two games couldn't be more different. Call of Duty compresses war into a tight, explosive package. It gives you control, power, and speed. It's about mastering the chaos. Battlefield expands war into something bigger. It shows you the scale, the confusion, the teamwork needed to survive. It's about embracing the chaos, and neither is right or wrong. They just speak to different instincts. Do you want to be the star of a blockbuster gunfight? Or do you want to be a piece in a massive, living battlefield? That's the real choice between Call of Duty and Battlefield. Atmosphere and immersion. Audio-visual war zones. When it comes to first-person shooters, visuals and sound design aren't just polish. They define how the game feels. And in the case of Call of Duty and Battlefield, the difference is night and day. Let's start with Call of Duty. Visually, Call of Duty is sharp, stylized, and intense. Everything is crafted for maximum impact. The lighting is dramatic. The explosions are cinematic. The animations are smooth, especially in recent titles like Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. Movement looks slick. Your character slides, vaults, and reloads with Hollywood flair. Maps are tight and clean. The environments look real, but they're optimized for visibility and readability. You can easily spot enemies, trace bullet paths, and follow the action. And during campaign missions, the camera work is like a movie. Slow motion sequences, close-up kills, and scripted moments that keep your adrenaline high. But while Call of Duty looks good, it feels even better thanks to its sound design. Every gun has a distinct punch. Bullets snap and crack with force. Footsteps are clear and directional. You can literally track an enemy just by listening. Explosions rattle your ears, and when a kill streak hits, the audio cues make you feel like a god of war. Call of Duty's soundscape is about precision and control. It helps you win. It helps you react. But more than anything, it amplifies the tension. Now shift gears to Battlefield. The first thing you'll notice is scale. Everything is huge. Mountains stretch across the horizon. Cities sprawl into chaos. Forests are dense and alive. And thanks to the Frostbite engine, the environment isn't just background, it's part of the game. You can destroy cover, flatten buildings, blast craters into the ground. That sniper in the tower. Blow up the tower. That tank hiding behind a wall. Level the wall. Battlefield is built on destruction, and it creates dynamic battlefields that evolve as the match goes on. Visually, it leans into realism. Dust clouds obscure your vision. Smoke trails mark the path of missiles. Mud cakes the screen when you go prone. Lighting is dynamic. Sunlight flickers through trees. Night missions get lit up by tracer rounds, and weather effects like rain and fog actually affect visibility. Now, let's talk audio. And this is where Battlefield truly shines. The sound. Design is raw, chaotic, and overwhelming, in the best way possible. Guns don't just sound like bangs. They echo through valleys, bounce off buildings, and reverberate in your headphones. Explosions have depth. Distant tank fire has a deep rumble. When a fighter jet screams overhead, you feel it in your bones. And the chaos, it's not organized. It's war. You hear voices yelling, bullets whizzing by, shells dropping nearby, and sometimes you have no idea where it's coming from. That's intentional. Battlefield doesn't just simulate a gunfight, it simulates the confusion of war. There's no announcer yelling, UAV online. Instead, your squad mates call out threats. The commander barks orders. The environment speaks louder than any UI ever could. And when you're in a firefight, pinned down by snipers and artillery, the immersion is unreal. In terms of immersion, Call of Duty is like a roller coaster. It's intense, thrilling, and always under control. You know where you're going, even if it's wild. Battlefield is like being dropped in the middle of a thunderstorm with a rifle. It's unpredictable, it's massive, and it's entirely up to you to find your path through the chaos. And here's something important. Both approaches work. Call of Duty delivers tight, high-intensity engagement. Battlefield offers scale, unpredictability, and realism. The difference lies in what kind of immersion you're after. Do you want to feel like the star of an elite ops team in a choreographed assault? Or do you want to feel like one soldier among many, trying to survive a massive war where anything can honestly happen? Call of Duty immerses you through control. Battlefield immerses you through chaos. That's the magic of these two worlds. They don't just sound or look different. They feel different, deep in your gut. Player identity. What kind of gamer are you? By now it's clear, Call of Duty and Battlefield aren't just different games. They're built for different players. Let's talk about you, the person behind the controller. If you crave instant action, short bursts of high-octane combat, and fast reward cycles, Call of Duty is your home. It gives you a tight, responsive experience where every second counts. The skill ceiling is high, but the game respects your time. You can hop in, drop 30 kills, call in a chopper, and log off feeling like a boss, all in under 10 minutes. You like speed. You like reflex challenges. You want your decisions to matter now. You're the type who thrives on one-on-one duels, who memorizes spawn points, who lives for kill streaks. You chase that feeling. The rush of a clean headshot, the dopamine hit of a triple kill, the bragging rights of topping the leaderboard. Call of Duty rewards individual dominance. If you can master your weapons, movement, and map knowledge, you can carry your team. You're not just a soldier, you're a one-man army. But what if that's not what drives you? What if you're the kind of player who sees the big picture? Who enjoys the ebb and flow of battle? Who doesn't just want to win, but wants the win to mean something? Then Battlefield is calling your name. In Battlefield, the real satisfaction doesn't come from kills. It comes from contribution. You repair a tank, revive a fallen teammate, capture an outpost under heavy fire, or take down a helicopter with perfect timing. These aren't flashy moments, but they win battles, and the best part, you're not doing it alone. You're part of a squad, a unit, a team. When your squad pushes together, covering each other, supporting each other, it feels like war. And when your team coordinates to pull off a massive comeback, it's unforgettable. Battlefield rewards cooperation. It rewards awareness. It's not about being the best player. It's about being the right player at the right moment, and that changes your mindset. In Call of Duty, a death is a setback. In Battlefield, a death is intel. Where did it come from? What was the enemy using? Can you adapt? In Call of Duty, you play to dominate. In Battlefield, you play to adapt, survive, and overcome. Let's also talk about progression. Call of Duty's unlock system is immediate and addictive. Guns, skins, attachments, perks. It constantly feeds you something new. It's a power loop, and it keeps you engaged. Whether it's grinding for a gold camo or testing a new loadout, there's always something to chase. Battlefield takes a slower path. Unlocks are tied to roles and often require teamwork or objective play. You don't just get better weapons, you earn tools. Tools that help your team. It's less about personal flair and more about specialization. Even the way the games update reflects their identity. Call of Duty evolves rapidly. Seasonal content, battle passes, rotating modes. It thrives on freshness, on keeping players locked in week after week. Battlefield updates tend to focus on balance, community feedback, and long-term systems. It's a more methodical evolution, aimed at stability and immersion over hype, and then there's the community. Call of Duty's player base is massive, competitive, and often intense. You'll find quick matchmaking, sweaty lobbies, and constant mic chatter. It's a pressure cooker, and some players love that. Battlefield's community is generally more tactical, more cooperative, and more chill, until the bullets start flying. Players tend to value teamwork, realism, and those emergent moments you can't script. So here's the bottom line. If you're a reflex-driven, competitive, fast-action gamer, Call of Duty is your arena. If you're a strategic, patient, team-focused gamer, Battlefield is your battlefield. And you know what? You don't have to choose just one. Some days you want to run and gun. Other days you want to plan and push. That's the beauty of gaming. It's not about loyalty. It's about experience. And both of these franchises offer something special. Two worlds. Two philosophies. Both fighting for your trigger finger. The real question is, who are you when the game begins?